Hey, gals and guys, it's Chris Mosier from MyMediaHelper.com, and I just released a video, uploaded a video a couple days ago, 20th century superhero audio dramas, just audio dramas that I grew up with back in the 20th century, back in the 20th century, back in the day. A lot of stuff that even before television wasn't even around, just audio dramas that I would listen to as a kid, and just some obscure media that maybe people don't necessarily know about. So I thought I would do the same thing with television and movies. I'm going to kind of skip some things. I'm not going to incorporate every single thing of the 20th century. There's a lot of obscure ones like the Captain America movie from the 90s. There's Steel. There's The Shadow with Alec Baldwin. There's The Spirit that I'm pretty sure that was a 90s movie that... damn it. I'm trying to remember who directed it. The comic book artist, Dark Knight Returns. Oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. You superhero fans know who I'm talking about. I can't. The name is escaping me right now. Frank Miller. So he directed The Spirit. Sam Jackson was in that. I might touch upon things as they come to me, like The Phantom, Billy Zane in The Phantom. A lot of people, I think people know that these movies exist. Tanya Roberts, was she Shira, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and stuff will come to me. I'm not really touching upon that stuff. This, I don't really think I need to touch upon this. I think everyone knows these serials exist, even the youngins, even you youngins out there, 20 and 30 years old. But there's old serials that started off this whole superhero craze. There was Superman cereal and Batman cereal. And I'm not talking about one in aisle 3 at your local supermarket, not those type of cereals, not the cereal put milk on. No, the movie type cereals, the cereals that have like 10, 12 parts depending. And you went back every week, just like you do serialized television right now, right? I mean, everything is serialized now, right? Most television shows are serialized now. That's how movies used to be. And you used to go back every week to pick up where the adventure left off. So a bunch of them. I mean, I guess you can count Lone Ranger as a superhero. He's the Masked Man. He had a TV show. I'm sure you all know Flash Gordon, very popular. I'm sure you know all these exist. I'm just giving you a heads up that if you weren't aware, Captain Marvel, Shazam, used to be Captain Marvel back in the day. And for some reason, I don't think they can call it Captain Marvel anymore, or they don't do it because there's Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe. I don't know if it's a legality thing or just distinguished between the two. Black Hawk, which is a DC comic and of old school DC comic. Those are old school plane fighter pilots. And I remember that comic from way in the day. So just some interesting stuff. I'll keep this and I'll put this in the comments if you're interested. And I'm sure you can find these to download very easily out in the stratosphere. And I'm not sure if these are all public domain or not. So I'll have to find out. Maybe I'll put some on the channel. I'm not really sure. I just put the Fleischer Superman cartoons on the channel. They're doing very well. They're getting a lot of views. So I might do some more of that if I'm allowed. So this is just for instance that you can download. If you go to Internet Archive, they have a lot of these movies, a lot of shows, a lot of the audio dramas that I mentioned in my previous video. And here's Captain America. This is part 1 of the serial. And you can download these or watch them right where they are. I'm assuming this is a serial, Captain America. Let's go back here and see if Captain America had a serial. I'm pretty sure it's not there it is right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I don't think Captain America ever had a movie until the 70s, those 2 crappy television movies, which I will bring up. So yeah, there's that. I wanted to touch upon the Wonder Woman. I've tried to stick to the 20th century, but I thought I'd bring this up anyways because there's 3 different Wonder Woman pilots I wanted to talk about. This one is from 2011. And this stars the lady from the Orville, and she was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and her name is escaping me right this moment. So I apologize. But it was David E. Kelly, who I think did like Ally McBeal and shows of that nature. Did more of the lawyer shows and stuff. So this was kind of a weird turn for him. And it wasn't very good. I did watch it. Adrian Palicki is her name, if I pronounce that correctly. That's the actress who I'm trying to fine actress. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I think it was a bad script, and whoever was directing it, I don't know, wasn't directing his actors, or I don't know. Maybe it was just a combination of things. And the Mandalorian's in this, and his name's escaping me right now too. And so's Carrie Ooze. Ooze. Now let's bring it up real quick. Wonder Woman pilot. Wonder Woman. Pascal. Wonder Woman pilots. It's hell to get it. Don't get old. You forget things. Here it is right here. Yeah, Pedro Pascal is in it. Adriana, she's beautiful. Elizabeth Hurley, oh yeah, I forgot she was in it. And Carrie, I mean, they had a good cast. These people that can act, and they act like they're so wooden in this. So I don't know. It could have been something better, and it just wasn't. And I think Diana Prince in it was a lawyer or something like that. I'll have to go back and watch it. But if you want to download it, here it is. I'll put it in the description. So Kathy Lee Crosby, I grew up with her. It was real. It wasn't Real People. It was That's Incredible. So it was her, David, somebody, and then an ex-football player, and it was basically just amazing things that people could do. And that aired like in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was Incredible People. Let's look that up too. I think it was Incredible People. Incredible People. It was like a reality-based news show. Incredible People. Was it Fran Tarkenton who was in this? No, that's not it. Maybe it was That's Incredible. Was it That's Incredible? It might have been That's Incredible. That's Incredible. I think it was That's Incredible. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, John Davidson. He had his own talk show for a while. I think he's still around. I'm not sure if he passed away or not. Yeah, Fran Tuckerton, and then Kathy Lee Crosby. So, anyways, I bring her up because she was in this pilot, this Wonder Woman pilot. It was movie length, and you can actually go to Amazon and you can rent it or buy it. I didn't see where you could download it. I'm sure if you get on torrents or something, you can download it without a problem. But yeah, wow, that's incredible. Or yeah, I wonder whatever happened to John Davidson. Did he pass away? Now I'm all curious. Now we're going down rabbit holes here. If any of you remember this, if you're old school. If you're an old person like me, then you know exactly who he is. No, he's still kicking. 81 years old. Okay. I wonder if Fran Tarkenton is still around. Let's check him out. It was just kind of like it was before YouTube. It's just amazing things that people did. Born, yeah, he's 83. Wow, they're all alive and kicking. They should do a reunion show. All right, I'm sorry I went down that rabbit hole. I apologize. So, anyways, yeah, you could check this out. I watched it a long time ago. It's kind of surprised me. One day it was like on some obscure channel when we only had like 5 channels. I think it was on channel 31 here, WUHF, before it became a Fox affiliate, and they would play old like Godzilla movies, Planet of the Apes movies, Blondie movies, which I'll bring up in a minute. They would just play old obscure movies that I watched as a kid, and that was pretty cool. And then there was one really, really weird obscure one from 1960. Here it is right here, and they played it in the same vein as like the old Bat. So it was very tongue in cheek. Get through this commercial here, and show you the costume. Wow, look at that costume. Oh boy. So I think it was played more for comedy than anything. It was very bizarre, and it's a pilot. I don't believe it ever aired. I could be incorrect on that. And to touch on that, there was also a Batgirl spinoff pilot, which never aired. So that was the direct spinoff from the old Batman, Adam West and Burt Ward show. And I think I have, let's get rid of some of this stuff. I think I have that up here. It's Doctor Strange. We'll get that to that. Yeah, I think it's down the line here. We'll get to it. There was a Doctor Strange 1970s in the 1970s movie, 1978, according to this. I've never seen it. I don't know if I'll ever ever see it. It seems very psychedelic. It seems like some people, if you were taking acid back at the time, it was probably spectacular watching it. But I don't think I really have a desire to ever watch it. That's right around about when I mentioned the two Captain America TV movies, which I did see as a kid. I don't remember a lot about him. I remember he did have his shield and he did ride a motorcycle with a helmet with stars on it. And, that's not Captain America. It was Captain America-esque. There was no lasting impression to me about those movies. Nothing stuck with me. And that's when The Incredible Hulk, when that started to come out with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, the short-lived Spider-Man series. I'm trying to think what else. Wonder Woman came out about that time. So it was really a lot of these superhero series were starting to come along. So let's see what we can kill here and kill this, kill that. Okay, Legends of the Superheroes. I remember watching these on TV when I was a kid. They were pretty cool when I was a kid. They were played for comedy. I don't think I knew that. I was probably like 6 or 7 when these came out. And it was Adam West and Burt Ward, who I did already know because I was watching the Batman series at the time, reruns again on Channel 31 before it became a Fox affiliate. And then they just added DC characters of comic books and the Super Friends. I was a Super Friends watcher of the time, the cartoon, the Super Friends by, was it Filmation or Hanna-Barbera? I think it was Filmation did the first DC comics, and then I think Hanna-Barbera came along and did the Super Friends. So anyways, it was just cool to see them in live action. So yeah. This actually, I bought a tin, a Superman movie set tin, and it came with Super Pup and this Superboy pilot episode. I don't think either of them ever played on television. I think they were just created and left on the shelf. I know this didn't ever become a series until the 90s, and then there was a series by the Sulkins, played by two Superboys actors that I couldn't tell you their names off the top of my head. I think everyone knows about that. There was a lot of stuff around there too. There was the Swamp Thing I can remember. Shade Man or Shadow. That was. I'm trying to think of it wasn't a DC or Marvel comic. Shade Man or I don't know. They had Manimal and a bunch of obscure Misfits of Science all during the 80s, kind of around that time. So yeah, I don't think that ever aired. There was a Dick Tracy series. I know nothing about it. It lasted a couple years, I guess. I'm not a big Dick Tracy fan. I never have been. The movie was okay with Warren Beatty and Madonna. I don't know. Al Pacino was in it, and Rain Man there. Dustin Hoffman played a villain. Bunch of people were in that, and I think that was like the late 80s, early 90s, and it was all right. I've never seen it since. I don't really care to, but anyways, there was a TV show based on Dick Tracy. If you're into that, there's Super Pup. I already mentioned, very bizarre. They were trying to do follow-ups to the George Reeves Superman show that was very popular until George Reeves committed suicide, and then they tried to make the Superboy pilot, and they tried to make Super Pup, and they tried to popularize off the character. It just wasn't the same magic as George Reeves had as his character. And yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. This is the Batgirl on air pilot. So you can go right here and download it or watch it. I'm sure it's all over YouTube. I'm sure it's all over every place, and very easy to find. Generation X, a very obscure television movie starring Fiona Hughes. Fiona Hughes from General Hospital. And okay, full disclosure, I watched General Hospital religiously in the 1980s during the whole Freeze of the World, Aztec Treasure, Spy, WSB, DVX deal. I just liked it. It was like low budget. It was like really low budget films every day, and they went on location, and they had all these movie tropes in an hour format every day on television. It was just it was cool to me because it was always interesting to see what they could do in a quick turnaround, because they had to film that sucker quickly, right? Because they have 5 shows to air each week, and then when they go on location, it was just interesting to me how they could fit that all in the time frame and the budget that they have. So Max Headroom's the villain in this. There's another guy who's went on to a procedural show. He played Banshee on this. I can't remember the guy's name. It was pretty terrible. It's right when Generation X, it was a comic book that came out, which was a fairly good comic book when it came out. I doubt it's still around, or maybe it's around in other incarnations, but we're talking like the early 90s. And it sucked. It was pretty bad. Even at the time, it was bad, but hey, it was before all the X-Men movies came out and all the big superhero surge started. And it was right about the time when you're getting like the Captain America movie, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie, the JLA pilot movie, the Nick Fury television movie, all these crappy ass movies. The Death of the Incredible Hulk was right around this time. It's all this crap superhero content came out until they finally someone clicked in their brain. Sam Raimi, whoever did Blade, thought that superheroes actually didn't have to be cheesy, and then we are where we are today. So yeah, you can download that. Here's the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. I would also recommend, I believe it's called Doomed, which is a documentary around what happened with this movie, because the story behind the movie is very interesting to me, but not a particularly good movie. I saw it years ago, and they did what they could with the budget. The actors thought this was the real deal, and they got boned, and a bunch of people, including Roger Corman, got a payday out of it. A bunch of people got $1 million for hiding, for dismissing. I don't know what other word to use. They screwed the talent behind this movie, I do believe. But here's the movie, and then certainly get the Doomed. I believe you can either rent it, and it might be streaming someplace, and I'm sure you can find a torrent for it if you really want to watch it. All right, so this is my website. I actually have these files in a cloud server, Amazon cloud server, and this is the JLA, or Justice League movie pilot. They tried to do like The Office with it before The Office was a thing. So it was like they would interview the characters and then they would show scenes from the movie. It was very bizarre, and it was very bad, and it was very terrible. So the characters they utilized in it was Green Lantern, The Flash, Fire and Ice, who were from that current run of the Justice League series. I'm trying to think who else. The Atom, I do believe, and then John Wesley Shipp from MASH fame was a Martian Manhunter, and I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anyone. And the Weather Wizard was the bad guy, played by the late great, and I forgot what his name is too. But yeah, it's not fairly well known. I think most people know it exists. It's pretty terrible. It was a pilot for a proposed series, and it never made air, and because it's a piece of crap. Because it's a piece of shit. Another pilot that I don't think ever went anywhere, I don't think ever aired, is Power Pack. Now, this is a comic book I collected as a kid as well. I love Power Pack. It's 4 kids, and then eventually Franklin Richards joined the team, and then I think one of the aliens joined the team at some point. But aliens that kind of look like walking horses gave powers to the pack. I forget exactly why. I think he was dying or something, and he gave his power, just like Green Lantern, right? Gave the ring when he was dying to Hal Jordan got it. Kind of the similar origin. And there were like lizard type creatures that were the bad guys. And Wolverine had a big to do in the beginning of the series as well. But this pilot is totally terrible. It has really not much to do with the comic book whatsoever, except these kids get powers. And they kind of keep it from their parents. And I haven't watched it in a while. I did watch it once. It's not good. It's not good at all. But here it is, and I will put the link down in the description. I'm sure you can download. I'm sure you can download any of these. So there's that one. if you want to go through these, I'll put this link in the description. This is my old website, Fan Film Follies. It's still around. I'm not really sure how many of the videos and the links. They're videos from a whole bunch of places, especially like I said, Amazon Cloud. All that video's up. But these are just fan films, and maybe I should do a video on the best fan films that are available. Fan films were kind of a big thing in the late '90s, in the early 2000s. You didn't really have these superhero movies that we have now, the TV shows. We didn't have the level of content that we have now coming out of Hollywood. So people would go make their own Star Wars, Star Trek superheroes and stuff. And there was a lot of good ones. Fan films aren't really a big thing anymore. People aren't really doing efforts toward them. They're still being made, but not to the extent they were once upon a time. So I did cover fan films on this site, and there's a lot of good ones on here. Maybe I should go through, maybe I will do a video to follow up this one on some of my favorites. I think I will do that, but I will put that link in the description. I wanted to mention this. This is not a 20th century thing. This is a new century thing. The Punisher, Dirty Laundry. So this is was endorsed and made and starred Thomas Jane, who was in the second Punisher. It was Dolph Lundgren, Thomas Jane, the gentleman who just passed away, and then John Berthal is the fourth one. Berthal, is that who you said? Who's the new Punisher? But they did a short. He just wanted to show how the Punisher should be instead of how he was in the movie. Thomas Jane was involved, and it's pretty good. And I just wanted to mention it because I don't think maybe a lot of people know this even exists. So here's just a list of DC television shows. I think you know most of these: Swamp Thing, The Flash, Human Target, Lois and Clark, definitely Smallville, Birds of Prey. I think you pretty much know all these exist, so I didn't really want to get too elaborate into this. These are pretty new. Let's go to Marvel. I don't think there's anything that's too obscure that I need to really touch upon. Oh yeah, there was a Blade TV series. I'm sure you're aware of that. Yeah, I think everything else is fairly new. Nothing to see here. Maybe what you haven't seen is this terrible piece of shit. With David Hasselhoff, this Nick Fury, Agents of Agents of Shield. It was bad. It was bad when I saw it in the '90s, and it's still bad, but it exists, and there it is, and it's all its glory with David Hasselhoff. Wouldn't that be awesome if he showed up as Nick Fury in Civil War? Wouldn't it be awesome if a lot of the Marvel shows from like the '80s and the '90s, the Fantastic Four, Roger Corman movie, the Captain America. I'm not sure who's alive and who's not. I think most people are still with us. If they just popped up, it would just be a fan extravaganza. I think it would be cool. This piece of shit. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. You probably know about this one. It was just a musical play that was played on broadcast TV, and it's just dumb. It's just a Superman musical with really crappy sets, and it's stupid. Something I grew up with, I wanted to mention, and it came to mind, Blondie. There was a lot of Blondie movies that were created, and Blondie was the comic strip that you might not even know existed. I'm not even sure if the comic strip still is in syndication or still created or still made, but I watched these as a kid. They were pretty good. I liked them. I should go back and explore them again and watch a couple of them because they were always on that Channel 31 that I mentioned before it became a Fox affiliate. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of those movies. So check them out if you get a chance. You can download them at Internet Archive. Here's one I did find. I think this was the first one, perhaps. But yeah, they're fun. I liked them. I liked them as a kid. I think everyone knows this exists. You can download them here. The Japanese Spider-Man show. I don't think that's news to anybody. And yeah, Barbed Wire. I think everyone knows Barbed Wire exists too. I didn't want to go into things that I think everyone knows about. And that's really it. I just wanted to kind of go down memory lane and some obscure stuff that I used to watch, or just some stuff I know about. I'm probably missing a ton of stuff. I'm not going to add the Christopher Reeve superhero movies. I'm not going to add the Tim Burton Batman movie. Speaking of Batman, I just watched the Flash movie last night. It was good. I liked it. I liked it. It was good to see Michael Keaton back as the character. And I can't believe it's been over 30 years. I'm old. I feel old. It feels like, I know, I sound like an old fart. It seems like it was just yesterday. Um, so any of that main stuff, that iconic stuff, I'm not going to add like the Hulk show. I already mentioned the Hulk show, and there's a bunch of stuff that I didn't go over. I could make this video 20 hours long, I'm sure, if I wanted to. But that's it, gals and guys. It was fun going through this stuff again. I think I'll follow up with fan films, and then that's about it, I think. I don't know. It's just fun to go through and look back and take a peek and share this stuff with you and talk about this stuff with you. And certainly put any comments down below, any nostalgic thoughts you might have, or anything that you think really obscure that I might have missed. All right, gals and guys, I appreciate you as always. Please subscribe to the channel because, hell, why not? And please like this video if you liked it, and like it if you didn't like it, and please share this, and then hit that bell for updates. And that's about it, gals and guys. I got some movie reviews to do, and that's really what I'm doing laying here, is watching some movies and writing up some reviews. But I just thought I'd do this just because. All right, sweethearts. All right, I'll catch you later. Bye.